straight from the Ethiopian Jewish tribe. I mean, this is old school, Middle Earth.
Got a dinosaur gym.
The dinosaurs, that's right. The dinosaurs were staring at this.
New York, 2012. Howard Ratner owns a jewelry store in the Diamond District and operates like a man who has never once considered what happens next. He has a stolen Ethiopian opal he's trying to auction, he has a loan shark who wants his money back, he has Kevin Garnett who believes the opal has power, he has a bet inside a bet inside a bet, and every single one of them is live at the same time. Uncut Gems is the Safdie Brothers at full throttle, a film engineered to make you feel like you are the one holding all of this together. The overlapping dialogue, the score that never resolves, the editing that cuts before you're ready. This isn't a film that puts pressure on its protagonist, it puts pressure on you. Howard's chaos becomes your nervous system's problem. What keeps it from being pure sensation is that Howard isn't a victim of circumstance. He could stop. He knows he could stop. The film is completely honest about the fact that he doesn't want to. That's the other thing Uncut Gems has that most thrillers don't, a genuine sense of the mythological underneath the hustle. Howard believes in the opal, not just as a commodity, as a sign. The film holds that belief without mockery, and it's what elevates the whole thing. A man betting everything on a rock that might contain the universe. That formal pressure, the sense that the film has removed every mechanism that would normally let you breathe, is the first thing worth isolating. This isn't just fast editing, it's a specific philosophy of how stress can be built into sound and structure. And one film understands it better than anything else in the vicinity.
What was that song? What the fuck?
Good Time was made 2 years before Uncut Gems by the same two directors, and if you watch them back to back, you can see the Safdies working out exactly how much they can ask of an audience before something breaks. Robert Pattinson plays Connie Nikas, a small-time criminal trying to spring his brother from Rikers after a botched bank robbery. The entire film takes place over one night. There is no pause, no scene where someone sits down and takes stock, no moment of quiet before the next thing goes wrong. The score by Oneotrix Point Never, the same composer as Uncut Gems, runs underneath everything like a current that never cuts out.
What the Safdies are doing formally is refusing you the release valve. Most thrillers build tension and then pay it off. There's a rhythm to it, a breath between peaks. Good Time and Uncut Gems both remove that rhythm entirely. The tension doesn't peak and release, it accumulates. By the end of Good Time, you feel like you've been holding your breath for 86 minutes, and you will feel exactly the same way when Uncut Gems ends. What Good Time also shares with Uncut Gems is a sense of New York as a world that operates entirely on its own terms, a city that has its own economy, its own food chain, its own rules, and absolutely no interest in the problems of the people moving through it. But Uncut Gems is specific about which New York. The Diamond District is not a backdrop, it's a closed system. And there's one film that understood that system before almost anyone else did.
After all these days, you gonna tell me I stole something from you? I'm just fucked up, man. Right now, I don't even know what I'm doing. I can't pay my rent. I can't do nothing. That's what I'm fucked up. Right now, you remember what I'm talking about? I saw the sneakers over there. So you cool? You calm now?
Sean Baker shot Prince of Broadway on the streets of Midtown Manhattan with a largely non-professional cast, following Lucky, a Ghanaian immigrant selling counterfeit goods out of a bag, across a stretch of weeks that become complicated when a woman leaves him with a toddler he's not prepared for. Almost nobody has seen it. It played festivals, got quiet critical attention, and disappeared.
That's a genuine shame, because what Baker does here is exactly what the Safdies do in Uncut Gems. He builds a precise, granular portrait of a Manhattan hustle economy that most films walk straight past. The goods change hands, the lookouts rotate, the margins are razor thin, and the whole system operates on trust, reputation, and the constant low-level threat of everything collapsing. Lucky knows his world the way Howard knows his, completely, fluently, without needing to explain it to you. The film never condescends to its world or its protagonist. It doesn't editorialize about immigration or informal labor or the ethics of counterfeit goods. It just watches with the same clinical respect the Safdies extend to Howard. This is what New York actually looks like from the inside of a specific hustle, and Barani renders it with the kind of patience and precision that makes Uncut Gems' Diamond District feel like part of the same city. What Prince of Broadway is honest about, and what Uncut Gems is honest about, is that the world Lucky and Howard inhabit isn't something that happened to them. They chose it. They're good at it, and they keep choosing it, even when the cost is obvious. That psychology, the compulsive who sees the cliff and steers toward it anyway, is Howard's defining characteristic, and the film never once asks you to explain it away.
The Iceman's playing 70,000 a hand.
Dan Mahowny is a mid-level bank manager at a Toronto branch of the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. He is also, by the time Owning Mahowny begins, already deep into embezzling millions of dollars to fund a gambling addiction that has quietly consumed his entire life. Philip Seymour Hoffman plays him without a single moment of melodrama. There are no scenes where Dan breaks down and confesses to someone, no intervention, no rock bottom that triggers a turn. The film follows him to Atlantic City and Las Vegas and back to the bank and back again, and Hoffman makes you understand that the gambling isn't an escape from Dan's life, it is his life. The only time he is fully present, fully himself, is at the table. Everything else, the relationship, the job, the careful maintenance of appearances, is the performance. This is the thing Uncut Gems understands about Howard that a lesser film would soften. The compulsion isn't a disease that's doing something to him against his will, it's the organizing principle of his identity. Owning Mahowny is the most precise rendering of that psychology in cinema. More precise, arguably, than Uncut Gems itself. It's based on a true story. It was almost entirely ignored on release, and Hoffman's performance is among the best of his career. What Spring Breakers never quite has is stakes. The dream logic floats free. Uncut Gems anchors its mysticism in something irreversibly concrete. The locked room, the parlay, the game on the screen. Howard has taken every thread and tied them together into one knot, and the knot either holds or it doesn't. That architecture, total commitment, no exit, one outcome, is the film's formal and emotional peak, and it has a precise analog.
So maybe I'll bail you out. Everyone could use a little bailing out once in a while.
Why?
Why not?
Harmony Korine takes 4 college women, a robbery, a trip to Florida, and a rapper named Alien, played by James Franco in the most committed performance of his career, and turns all of it into something that has no business being as hypnotic as it is. On paper, it sounds like exploitation. In practice, it's something stranger. Korine uses the surface detritus of American pop culture. Spring break iconography, cash, guns, candy-colored bikinis, Britney Spears, and keeps staring at it until it transmutes. The film is soaked in its own mythology. Franco's "look at all my stuff" monologue shouldn't work. It does, completely, because the film is committed to the idea that this world contains its own cosmology, that the accumulation of objects and power means something more than it should. This is exactly the move Uncut Gems makes with the opal. Howard holds the stone and sees the universe inside it. Alien holds a stack of cash and sees the same thing. Both films are asking the same question. What happens when someone believes, with total sincerity, that the junk of the American surface is sacred? Spring Breakers takes that question further into the surreal. It's less a thriller than a waking dream, but the underlying logic is identical. Two films that find the mythological inside the very things most films use as wallpaper. What Spring Breakers never quite has is stakes. The dream logic floats free. Uncut Gems anchors its mysticism in something irreversibly concrete. The locked room, the parlay, the game on the screen. Howard has taken every thread and tied them together into one knot, and the knot either holds or it doesn't. That architecture, total commitment, no exit, one outcome, is the film's formal and emotional peak, and it has a precise analog.
Están ahí, pero no los ves. Bueno, de eso se trata. Están, pero no están. Así que cuida el maletín, la valija, la puerta, la ventana, el auto. Cuida los ahorros.
Nine Queens is an Argentine thriller about two con artists who stumble into each other in Buenos Aires and decide to run one elaborate scam together: the sale of a sheet of rare forged stamps to a Spanish businessman at a luxury hotel. The film was made for almost nothing, shot quickly, and became the highest-grossing Argentine film of the year it was released. Almost no one outside Argentina has seen it. What Nine Queens shares with Uncut Gems' final act is structural. Director Fabian Belinsky builds a scheme with interlocking moving parts, each dependent on the last, each requiring the people involved to trust each other just enough, and not a fraction more. When the whole thing is in motion, there is no partial outcome. It pays off completely or it collapses completely. The film holds that tension across its runtime the way a card player holds a hand, giving nothing away, waiting for the moment everything turns. The double-cross tradition it works in is older than cinema, but Belinsky uses it with a precision that earns comparison to the best of the form. Watch it knowing as little as possible. The final 10 minutes will do the rest.
Good Time, Prince of Broadway, Owning Mahowny, Spring Breakers, Nine Queens. 5 angles on a film that runs at you with everything it has and never once lets you find your footing. If any of these land for you, drop it in the comments, especially if you've already seen Nine Queens, because that one deserves more people in its corner. Like and subscribe if this is your kind of thing. There's more where this came from.